This program was first broadcast on Canterbury's access media station, Plains FM, and was made with the assistance of New Zealand On Air.
It's time for Emergence News on Plains FM 96.9, citizen-made radio.
Welcome to Emergence News. Kia ora. My name is Nigel, and joining me in the studio today, hi Peter.
Hi there, Nigel.
And what are we looking forward to today, Peter? What's your contribution?
I'm going to give a message by the Master to serve anew, and this is through Benjamin Creme, and it was some time ago that this was recorded. There were 140 messages that were recorded through Benjamin Creme, directly from Maitreya. And Maitreya,
of course, he's the head of, he's the world teacher, he's the head of the spiritual hierarchy.
He is indeed.
First-time listeners, quickly, what's the spiritual hierarchy?
Well, it's the role of the advanced brothers of humankind to move forward and assist us to catch up. And that's what they're doing. They're here with us. They don't need a physical body anymore. Some of them have one, some of them don't. Depends on their roles that they've got to play.
And throughout humanity's evolution, all through the civilizations that have come and gone through history, we have actually not been on our own. They have been working behind the scenes on our behalf.
That's correct. And it's only for 98,000 years they have withdrawn at the time of Atlantis problems. And it's only now that they're returning in full body expression. So we will see them as a full human.
So when we talk about the emergence of Maitreya and the spiritual hierarchy, John, that indicates and heralds a wonderfully exciting time for us humans here on planet Earth.
It's humanity turning a corner. It is the return of the true leadership of humanity, those that have gone before and developed and became masters of themselves and all of the realms of creation. And they have chosen to return to assist us to take the same path. So really, Maitreya talks about elder brothers, but they are the pathfinders that have gone before who are now returning to tell the rest of us the new direction.
This is quite a unique time, isn't it? Because not only do we have a world teacher, and that has happened many times in our past. We've had Jesus, Muhammad, the Buddha,
Krishna,
mm-hmm.
Hercules, Hermes.
Mm-hmm. All famous personalities.
All well known, yeah.
Very well known. But Maitreya is not coming alone.
He's coming at the head of 48 masters.
There's 40 approximately. 40. I'm not sure of the exact number, but there's already, they say there's already 14 of them here at the moment, but eventually it'll be around 40.
I guess we could say that the advance guard of the cavalry are already here, and the cavalry's now on the crest of the hill, and will be here very soon indeed. So this great change that we're being challenged with is part of our evolutionary process, and it's not something new. It's just life. And all life evolves, and humanity's evolving. And at this point in our evolution, we have got guides and teachers who karmically come into incarnation to help us take this next step. It's well planned, well documented, and it is how life evolves throughout this universe.
And this unfolding, this emergence of Maitreya, our new world teacher, and the spiritual hierarchy, each of these masters, they've all got individual portfolios, even though they work collectively.
Yes.
And as you just said, it is well documented. So since the late 1800s, there have been a number of key people, key individuals that have been releasing this information for humanity when they're ready to be exposed to some very exciting news.
Yes, we talk about the ageless wisdom teachings, and it's an ancient body of spiritual teaching underlying all the world's religions, as well as all the scientific, social and cultural achievements. First made available in writing to the general public in this era, in the late 1800s, by Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, this century by L.S.A. Bailey, Helena Rowich, and finally Benjamin Creme, who's the one that we probably talk about the most.
Yes, we refer to him and his body of work frequently. And of course, Alice Bailey, she has a huge body of work, Peter.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I'm just rereading her esoteric psychology, which is would be interesting to psychologists today, I'm sure. But there's 2 books there on esoteric psychology, 1 and 2. And fascinating stuff.
If you get a couch sorted out, I'll come over for some sessions, Peter.
and for further sessions and deep study, Blavatsky, I tried to read one of her works on my Kindle.
Yeah.
And I decided that I probably need to do what you did many years ago, John, and actually go to university and do a vast amount of study on the history of religion, because she was quite something back in the late 1800s. She was breaking ground in Russia, no less.
So one of the most unpopular cultures on the planet at the time, threatening everyone and everybody feeling threatened by Russia, and also female.
She was a woman.
And smoked cigars, and was just an extremely powerful personality, and of course ruffled all of the sensibilities of how females should behave for her time.
Did she end up in Britain for a while? Or am I thinking of Helena Rowich?
No, well, she was mainly known for going to India and in the Himalayas, where she met the masters and that sort of thing. So her focus was certainly India and the ancient teachings, wasn't it?
Incredibly interesting, courageous woman who had all the patterns of a highly evolved individual.
Well, she was.
Major health issues, burning up karma through health issues, constantly under pressure and derision, and just took it all in her stride.
And challenged all the thinkers of the day, was not afraid of any of them.
Yeah. And incredibly powerful, but a 4th degree initiate.
Yeah, so she was a powerful woman, and co-founded the Theosophical Society, which at that stage, that was the vehicle to release all this information, the ancient wisdom teachings to humanity.
Krishnamurti came along, and the Theosophical Society quite rightly identified him as the vehicle for Maitreya's emergence. Until 1945, I think, Maitreya decided to come himself.
Yes, he did.
Created a body for his own use, and instead of doing the normal overshadowing, which he did with Jesus and Krishna, decided to create his own body and come as himself.
So that's a whole change of plan.
It's a change of plan.
It was a game changer, wasn't it?
The problem with overshadowing the human form is the human form
has to be
dies.
The right vehicle. It has to be the right vehicle at the time, too.
It has to be the right vehicle, but also it perishes, right? It dies. So Maitreya coming in the self-created body.
It's a body of light, isn't it?
He has said, I will be with you till the end of the age. So 2,500 years. Because he's created a body that will not deteriorate as a usual normal human body does. So this is really, we're on the cusp of shaking every thought and belief and custom that humanity currently holds, because we're going to have a spiritual teacher who doesn't die, who isn't going to age. So whenever someone's discussing what Maitreya may or may not have said, we'll be able to ask him. So it's going to eliminate religion completely, right? Because religion's interpretation. A teacher appears, generally men gather the knowledge, keep it for themselves, and then interpret it to maintain their position. Religion's interpretation, where when the teacher stays in an indestructible body for 2,500 years, there will be no interpretation. The source will remain. That is what is so different.
That's what's groundbreaking about the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
That's right. It is indeed.
Yep.
All right. So, Peter, you've got a message coming up later in the program from Maitreya. Well, it's actually it's Benjamin Creme's master, isn't it?
That's right, it is.
And did Creme ever actually state who that individual is?
No, he declined. He was asked on several occasions.
We still don't know who Benjamin Creme's master was.
That could be the English master who we know very little about.
I'm also wondering if it'll be
That's
the
DK.
next Christ.
Maitreya.
Be the next Christ.
Oh, holding the office after Maitreya.
After Maitreya.
Okay.
Which is, who's that? Kutumi?
Kutumi, yeah.
Kutumi, yeah.
All right, John. Well, look, why don't you start the ball rolling right now as we speak, as
Okay.
you sit in the studio with your
Yep.
headphones on there, ready
Yep.
to go.
I'm
you're
a
opening
coiled
up
spring of rightness.
with your esoteric terms.
Yes. I'm loving this, actually. I've in doing these series of programs, I've been revisiting the glossary of esoteric terms. And honestly, listeners, if you have any interest at all, pick up this glossary, which is easily to print off the website, the Share International website. It's just full of really interesting comments and ideas. So I'm going to pick up. I think I finished off last program with Deva, an angel or celestial being, who share the evolutionary role on this planet with humans. So angels are real, and they're evolving alongside us. All of those writers that have talked about angels in the bottom of your garden are correct.
Yeah. In fact, all our bodies are made
Of tiny,
angelic
tiny
substance.
little, devic entities.
They're incredibly important to the humanity.
What does Benjamin Creme say about that? I'm not even sure that I understand this. He says they are the active builders, working intelligently with substance to create all the forms we see, including the mental, emotional, and physical bodies of humanity. It's a staggering symbiotic relationship that we have with angels.
That's right.
So if you're a young person out there and you've been reading about angels and some adults poo-pooed that idea, you are correct. Keep believing in angels. Anyway, I think I mentioned last program also the word disciple. And it's a concept I really like, because if you want to pick up any new skill, you have to apply a degree of discipline. Learning the ins and outs of it, learning the tricks, learning the hacks, learning the process, learning the philosophy. So you've got to apply some discipline. The word disciple, one who is pledged to serve the plan and has accepted the discipline required to take in hand his own evolution, living and working as a soul and serving humanity. So I guess you could say a conscious initiate, right? I've then gone to the G section and came up with the big G word, God. God, according to the esoteric glossary of terms, the great cosmic being who ensouls this planet, embodying all the laws and all the energies governed by those laws, which make up everything that we see and cannot see. And Benjamin Creme also mentions the word logos. And I guess, Peter, that's more the esoteric term for God, right?
That's right, correct.
It's kind of non-religious, right? Logos, the cosmic being who ensouls a planet, planetary logos, a solar system, oh my goodness, what? A solar logos, a galaxy, a galactic logos, and so on to infinity. So when we look at our solar system, each planet has a god, a planetary logos, right? All of those planetary logos, their physical experience, their incarnation is the body of the planet, but they are surrounded by energetic life as well. So each one of those is a god, a logos, a planetary logos. They rest in the body of a solar logos, right? So the solar system itself is ensouled by a god. And on and on and on and on. So life itself's like an onion, layer within layer within layer. And the thing that strikes me about this idea is that the human body has a physical form and energetic sheaths, right? It also has energy chakras, Yep. So our planet has a physical form and energetic sheaths, energetic structures. It also has energy centres, which I suspect one day we will call planetary chakras, right? Then we take it out further and we go to the solar system, right? Has a physical presence in the shape of the planets, has an energetic centre in the shape of the sun, and I suspect all of the planets are chakras in the body of the solar
System.
logos. So it's a system of life. And what's that biblical saying that we are created in the likeness of God?
Yes.
I can't remember how that goes, but there is a template for creation, and it rests in us and also in the planet and in the solar logos and on and on and on. We are created in the likeness of our Creator. I think that's the biblical term.
You mentioned earlier that God, our solar logos, is embodying our planet
Yes.
according to the laws of our planet. What are some of those laws?
Cause and effect. Laws of...
That actually governs our planet, doesn't
Yes, but the law of cause and effect is bigger than the planet, isn't it, Peter?
Oh, yeah.
The laws of cause and effect is cosmic.
Yes, it's on as far as our Earth is concerned. There are 4 great lords on Sirius who are the lords of karma. So they're the ones that make us go back and redo what we didn't do right.
I think also when we look at the cause of law and effect, that's an energetic fact. It's not.
It's science.
Yeah, it's science,
Yeah.
and we know it. You know, you bang a tuning fork, the result is vibration. We know this. But what I find kind of daunting is that my bad behaviour is known by 4 deity-like people on Sirius. Oh yeah, Pickles is up to it again. Oh yeah. You know.
But you see, but the important thing there, John, we're joking, but in all seriousness, karma is not a punitive law. It's actually a natural scientific. It's a reaction from
It's not personal,
an
Nigel.
action. That's
It's
right.
not personal.
So Pickles needs to remember that.
It's not personal. This is what is interesting. And I think on the last program when we looked at Israel and Gaza, I said then that the karmic debt being generated, and karma has, you generate personal karma, but you generate group karma.
There's national karma.
And you generate national karma, right? So the karma being generated by everybody involved here is it's phenomenal, the amount of energetic return that is going to come out of this conflagration in the Middle East.
The responsibility of those 4 lords of karma.
They will be working overtime
They
dealing
must
with the third rock from the sun. Yeah, they will know us really, really well.
Oh, those guys, those blokes down there on Earth again, they're at it.
We're probably
It's going to be a long night.
We're 80% of their workload.
Got plenty of coffee?
So yeah, look, some really cool ideas around God and Logos, and I guess one of I started reading Benjamin Creme, and I just got completely captivated by some of these ideas. I didn't see it as a spiritual process. I was just intrigued by some of the ideas, and that's what got me started.
And what did you start, when you say that got you started, what did you undertake? Were you started meditation, you started reading?
Yeah, I'd already started TM. I'd been doing transmission meditation, picked up Maitreya, the name, picked up Benjamin Creme, went to one of his lectures in the Christchurch Town Hall, started transmission meditation. And honestly, transmission meditations opened things up for me. And then I picked up on reading Benjamin Creme's books. Then I got Share International magazine. And then I started practicing some of the stuff Benjamin Creme talks about. Honesty, sincerity, detachment. I became disciplined with my meditation. I started to think about harmlessness. I started to think about my role in the world. So I guess he got me thinking. But also I use the hand card daily, which is the hand of Maitreya. I do the I do the prayer for the new age every day. I'm driving into work. I do the prayer for the new age. I'm doing a number of his disciplines. The ideas that he's given me, I'm working with.
Peter, John just mentioned the word harmlessness. Can you describe to us briefly what he's talking about?
Yes. Well, harmlessness is creating no negative karma to start with. I mean, that's sort of the basic...
So how do we, as an individual, employ harmlessness?
Well, if we can see everyone with a loving eye, if we can wish no ill on anyone, even Netanyahu, which is a very hard one. But, if we can see people in that sense that they're having a purpose, maybe his purpose is, to have a rethink of the whole idea. Maybe is going to wake up the world, as it were.
There could be some weird contribution from the likes of himself. Trump, I think of Donald Trump as a character. They have a destructive force about them, don't they? And perhaps there's a Ray 1 energy activating change, and we need those characters. Yeah. And it's part of the emergence process.
That's right.
Do you guys?
Esoteric truism is that crisis precedes great change.
That's right.
And globally, in every aspect of human endeavour, we are in crisis.
That's right.
So I look at Gaza, I look at Israel, I look at the Middle East, and I'm disgusted and horrified and terrified. But also in the back of my mind, I'm going, we're breaking down. Everything's breaking down. This culture, this civilization that we are using to run this planet is broken.
Not working, is it?
No, and we're all witnessing the collapse of a civilization.
That's right.
Which is a good thing, because that allows the new one to come through. And we are seeing the new civilization embodied in the actions of the young people.
So, recognised or not, Maitreya's hand can be seen, John, behind the outer turmoil, guiding and cementing the forces of good. And to bring it home, Peter, over to you.
Okay.
Been looking forward to this. This is a reading through the Master through Benjamin Creme.
To serve anew, and this is from Benjamin Creme's book, Maitreya's Mission. Since the time is short indeed till mankind sees the Christ, it would be wise to consider somewhat the likely repercussions of that momentous event. Firstly, men will awaken to a new situation, one altogether unfamiliar and strange. Nothing similar will have been the experience of anyone alive. No one, anywhere, will have heard before the thoughts broadcast on that day of days. Never before will men have heard the call to their divinity, the challenge to their presence here on earth. Each singly and solemnly alone will know for that time the purpose and meaning of their lives, will experience anew the grace of childhood, the purity of aspiration cleansed of self. For these precious minutes, men will know afresh the joy of full participation in the realities of life, will feel connected one to another like the memory of a distant past. Suddenly, men will realize that their life till now was a shallow thing, lacking, for the majority, all that makes life dear: brotherhood and justice, creativeness and love. Many will know for the first time that they count, that they matter in the scheme of things. An unfamiliar sense of self-esteem will replace their present hopelessness. Drugs of all kind will cease their hold on men. Quietly men's tears will flow in humble gratitude and longing for the good. From that time forward, a new spirit of sanctity will prevail upon the earth. Men will walk on tiptoe for a time. Soon, however, men will realize that the changes needed in the world are vast, manifold, requiring patience and dedication. imagining and trust. Before long, men everywhere will engage themselves in the work of reconstruction, the rehabilitation of the world. Succour for the poor and hungry will take pride of place, and so will forever end a blasphemy in men's midst. Millions will know for the first time the quiet happiness of satisfied need. No more will the dying forms of the starving disgrace the screens of the affluent. No longer will men watch their brothers dying before their eyes. So will end a dark chapter in the history of the race. Changes unequalled in extent will engage men's minds and hearts. Naught but the finest of the past will prevail against the onslaught of the new. Daily the transformations will be recorded for men to compare and admire. A new world will be constructed in the blazing light of day. All will in their way participate. Each will add his vision and contribute to the whole. For many, the very presence of the Christ will constitute a problem. Their long-held beliefs will be shaken to their core. For them, a period of heart-searching will be inevitable as they seek to understand the meaning of the new dispensation. Ancient beliefs die hard and hurt bitterly in the process. Nevertheless, millions will respond with a glad heart, happy to accept the teacher in their midst. Few in time will stand against the common acknowledgement that Christ, in the person of Maitreya, walks once more upon the earth.
All this information can be found on the Share International website, www.share-international.org, and also don't forget the podcasts, which are available on the Plains FM website.
We welcome your comments, questions and feedback. Please contact us at emergencenews@gmail.com.